Good morning. Hello, hello, hello. Thursday. Thursday morning time for yoga. Yeah. So I have to say that this morning when I woke up, I came very close to canceling this class. And I'm tired. I've had a few weird days. Also amazing days, very full, very lot of things happening, big emotional roller coaster. And I woke up this morning and I thought, I don't feel like doing it. And then I thought, okay, actually, that's exactly the times when it's probably most important to do something for my body because I could now lie in bed and stay and sleep, and probably I'll wake up in a couple of hours and still feel crappy. So, and also I figured that uh, it's kind of not fair to do this thing of always the bubbly yoga person and everything's perfect all the time, blah blah blah. Where it's not. It's simple. It's life is life. Shit happens sometimes, or things happen that are unexpected, or that make you feel in a way that you didn't expect, or whatever. It's just stuff can happen, and I figured that to hide from that and to not go online and teach my class would be a bit faking it as if life is always so perfect, which it's not. So here I am, gonna teach yoga. Um, Today's class is called Pretzel Time. So I've recently been coming up with these names for the classes way before, and it's quite fun because sometimes I give a class a name that I don't really know what it means until the morning before or the night before I do the class, and then I start to kind of figure it out. And this was really kind of like that. Like I wanted to challenge myself a bit and thought, oh yeah, people always say, or people that don't know yoga often say, oh yeah, you get yourself in all kinds of pretzel shapes. And I thought about that, and it's kind of a fun image. So I've been doing some research, or I just looked up some stuff and realized that actually what people mostly mean with this pretzel poses is the ones with the feet behind the head, um, either on the back or on the front. Feet behind the head is something that I wasn't able to do for a very long time, and only recently I can put one. So I cannot put both my feet behind my head yet. So, um, but we will try out something with that. I also think that full lotus is often seen as a pretzel type pose. Anything that has a lot of binding and where you kind of don't understand how the limbs are connected to each other. Yeah. So I would say for today, make sure you have blocks and make sure you have a few pillows also. I want to do a strong warm up, but not too long, which is difficult for me, but to make the warm up a bit more fast and a bit shorter than normal so that we have a lot of time to do deep stretching. And to see if we can get our foot behind our head, that kind of stuff. Yeah, so take some pillows because we might do some supportive stuff, and it can really help when we stay in stretches for a bit longer. Um, and we'll go also through some progressions to learning how to do full lotus for those of you that are into that. Yeah, so blocks and pillows, get yourself ready, get yourself super relaxed. I'm gonna drink my water. And then we shall start. And the great thing is that it's so warm that the body doesn't need a lot of time to warm up normally. All right. Let's start. Let's start in child's pose today. You can open your knees a little bit if you like. Just super simple. Coming to your mat, placing your forehead on the floor. Start to soften your hips. Allowing the weight of your pelvis to sink down onto the heels. And your arms can be long in front of you, relaxed on the floor, or you can put them next to your sides with the palms facing up, whatever feels right for you. Allow your belly to hang out. Every time you're breathing, expanding the belly, expanding the whole pelvis, softening into your pelvic floor. And as you breathe out, feeling the belly naturally contract without forcing it. Expanding the whole lower body as you breathe in and letting it sink down lower as you breathe out. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, a few rounds. Breathing in deeply. Out through the mouth, you can let it out with a little sigh if you like. Releasing the jaw, releasing the tops of your shoulders. And then walk your hands over to the right. Especially your left arm, walk it really all the way with the fingertips into the right corner. And then flatten your palm on the floor and sink your elbow down, stretching underneath the left armpit. Keep sinking down into your hips. From there, keep walking further to the right. Slide the left hand over the floor and then lift it up sideways, little side bend. Drop your head, sink your left hip onto the floor or to the heel. And then rolling back forward. Walking your hands all the way over to the left side now. Particularly your right hand, crawl it into the left corner using your fingertips and then flatten the palm. Release the weight of the arm down. Soften into your left hip. Release the back of the neck. And then keep sliding the right hand along the floor until you come up into a little side bend. Reaching the right sit onto the right heel, dropping your head down, softening your shoulders. From here, gently rolling back forward, sliding back out now. Walk your hands a little bit further forward, tuck your toes under. Little active child's pose here. You can bring your knees parallel, opening up the bases of the feet, sliding your ribs down, your legs. Walk your fingertips really forward, straightening the elbows, then drop the forehead down. Deeply breathing down to the tops of your ribs, all the way up to the shoulders, to the shoulder sockets where the arm bones connect. And from here, slide even a little bit further forward. Place your elbows on the floor, or you can also use a block here. Place your elbows on the block. Get them really close together, your elbows, and then you slide your head through. Maybe you can't have them all the way together for your head to slide through. But once your head is through, walk your elbows all the way together. And you can walk your knees a bit more back to increase the stretch. Drop your head to the floor. Bring your hands to prayer behind your neck. Opening up the shoulders. Soften your jaw. Release your rib cage. One more deep breath. Then walk your knees back in, gently releasing your elbows. Now, tucking your toes under, press into your hands and lift your knees slightly off the floor, stretching your Achilles. You can drop your head here. And then bringing your knees back down to the floor, rock your hands next to your hips. Maybe even a little bit behind your hips. Fingers pointing forward, shoulder blades roll together. Lift your hips up gently. Little stretch for the tops of the thighs, then drop the hips down a few times. Tucking the pelvis in, stretching the tops of the thighs. Gently releasing. Let's do this 2 more times. Using the breath. From here, bring your weight back forward, release the toes. Now place your wrists forward so the backs of your hands on the floor. Fingers pointing towards you, palms pointing up, little stretch for the tops of the wrists. Softening your shoulders as you do this, keep the back of the neck soft. And flipping the palms, so palms to the floor, wrists forward, fingers pointing towards you, fingers spread. The more weight you lean back, the bigger the stretch on the wrists. From there, coming to all fours, spreading your fingers wide. Knees right below your hips, wrists right below your shoulders. Take a few small circles just to warm up through the wrist, through the shoulder joints. And let's say 5 circles in one direction and then we change. 5 circles in the other direction, making sure you're pressing down into the fingertips so the weight is divided across the whole hand. You're not hanging your wrists. Let's do from here, coming to the center. Tuck your toes under and start to undulate the spine. So start to wave through your spine very easily. It can be quite fast here. So starting the movement from the tailbone, waving all the way up into the head like an undulating cat-cow. next time you arch, reverse the movement, so starting from the head. Waving, snaking through the spine. And then come to neutral. Press down into your hands and lift your knees off the floor. Just a few centimeters. Press down into your hands. Open up the space between the shoulder blades and the back. Gently drop your knees. Let's do it 2 more times. Press down into hands and feet. Lift the knees just a little bit off the floor. Keep pressing down into those hands, opening up the space between your shoulder blades and gently coming back down. One last time. Pressing yourself up. Keep pressing into those hands. And from there, straightening or almost straightening your legs, coming into downward dog. Shifting your hips side to side. And bending your knees one by one, walking through the feet. Waking up your downward dog. Maybe shaking the head, no. Shaking it, yes. From here, looking up at your hands, start to walk forward. Coming all the way to forward fold. Here you can bend your knees a little bit, stick your sit bones up at the ceiling. Now bring your hands behind your back, clasp the fingers, drop the hands behind you, opening up the shoulders, the front of the chest. Keep your knees a little bit bent so that you can connect your belly to your upper thighs. Sticking your sit bones up at the ceiling. You can gently rock the weight side to side here. Bending the right as you rock to the right, bending the left knee as you rock to the left. Very gentle. And gently releasing the hands. Bring them back down to the floor. From here, bend your knees, start to round up slowly, vertebra by vertebra. Coming all the way to standing. And let's right away start with a little tree to open up the knees and hips. Shifting the weight into the left foot, you can either step the right foot onto the left inner thigh if you're not quite warm yet, or bring the right foot in front of the left hip. Take it super easy and gentle here. We're just still warming up. Let's keep holding on to the right foot with the left hand. Bring the right hand to prayer. Lift your chest up and away from your hips. Lengthen the back of the neck. And let the knee just drop down. Let gravity pull the knee down. Very gently, not pushing anything. Super subtle tuck of the pelvis forward so your lower back can be long. Very, very gentle. From here, releasing. Bring your knee forward. Now slide the right foot down the thigh so it's right above the knee. Bring both hands to prayer. So now your knee is pointing more or less forward. Now twist over to the right side. Extend both arms. on a low diagonal. So your left arm comes to the outside of the right knee. Twist. You can twist yourself facing all the way back. We're coming back to prayer. Right away, testing balance and coordination, changing sides for the twist. So bringing now the right hand to the inside of the right knee, twisting all the way over to the left, looking at the back wall, gently coming back forward. Now with control, step the right foot back down. Parallel, open the hands. Moment here in mountain pose, Tadasana. And then shifting the weight into the right foot, lift the left. Bring it to your chosen version of tree, either foot on the inner thigh or foot in front of hip. Maybe this side is very different. It is for me. Taking the time to slide into this. Bring the left hand to the chest and keep holding on to the right foot. Lifting the ribs up and away from the hips. Lengthening the lower back, lengthening the back of your neck. If it's hard for you to balance, you can focus your eyes on one point in front of you. Letting the knees slide lower and lower down. From here, bring the left knee up and slide the foot a little bit down the leg until it's right above the knee. Bring both hands to prayer. Point the knee forward. So you're using the left inner thigh here to keep the knee pointing forward. From here, twisting over to the left and extending your arms on the low diagonal. The right wrist on the outside of the left knee, twisting. Looking all the way at the back wall if you can. Press down strongly into your right big toe. To keep the balance, gently come back. As you twist, you can see, if you can notice everything with your eyes that you see on the way. Twisting over to the right, making a circular pathway with the eyes, noticing everything around you. Gently, slowly twisting until you're looking at the back wall. Pressing against the inside of the left knee with the back of the left hand. Gently turning yourself back. Super aware of your surroundings, everything you can see. From here with control, step the left foot back down, standing with the feet hip distance apart. Open your hands, palms forward. Lengthening the back of the neck. Rooting your feet down into the floor. From here, reach your arms up overhead. Swan diving down. Coming halfway up. You can still have the knees slightly bent here if it helps you then. Bend the knees, step the right foot back. Now, you're in a big lunge. Take a few times, shifting the weight from the front to the back, front to the back. You can have the weight on your fingertips if it helps you to lift the chest a bit. Just gently opening up the front of the right thigh. From here, drop the right knee down. Walk your hands onto your left knee. Sinking your hips down and forward. From here, sliding your right hand behind your back. See if you can wrap it around the top of the left thigh and bring, just like we did before, the left arm down on a slight diagonal, pressing with the forearm against the inside of the left knee, twisting yourself open to the right. Sink your hips down a little bit low. Gently untwisting, bring your hands back to the top of your knee. Now lift your right knee up off the floor. Bring your hands to prayer. Twisting over to the left, now putting outside of the right elbow on the outside of the left knee. Twist, twist, twist. Gently coming back up. Extend your arms up, but sink your hips down lower. Reach forward with the torso on the diagonal, then bring your arms down. One more time, shifting weight forward and back, opening up both hips. From here, looking forward, step the right foot back next to the left, coming halfway up, rounding the way down, then coming halfway up again. This time bending the knees, step the left foot down, back. Left foot is stepping back, and the weight is shifting forward and back, Gently, easily opening up the front of the left thigh, sinking down lower into the right hip joint. Gently bringing the knee down to the floor. Walk your hands up to the knee. Sink your hips down lower. And reach your sternum up and away. Now slide your left arm behind your back, wrap it around, grabbing the top of the right thigh, sliding the right arm on the inside of the right knee, pressing the forearm into the knee and the knee into the forearm. Start to twist yourself open all the way until you're facing the back wall. Sink your hips down a little bit lower. And gently coming back. Bring your hands to prayer. Straightening the left leg now. Twisting over to the right, placing the left elbow on the outside of the right knee. Press down into the right hand. See if you can press your hands so they're in the middle of your chest. In prayer, twist, twist, twist. Then gently untwist, lengthen your arms up and reach the torso forward on a diagonal to bring your hands down. Another time, shifting the weight forward and back, releasing both your hip joints. From here, stepping back into your forward fold, coming halfway up, rounding yourself down, bending the knees, rolling up, up, up. From here, right away, lengthen your arms up above your head, swan diving down, come halfway up. Now step both feet back into plank pose. First plank of the day, make sure you're spreading your fingers out wide, reaching your heels back, pressing just like we did before when we lifted the knees off the floor, pressing up a little bit between the shoulder blades, not hanging in your shoulders. From here, bring the knees down to the floor and bring the chin and the chest down, sticking your pelvis up for a moment, foot here. Straighten through the right leg. Bend it back down, straighten through the left leg. Bend it back down, and if you can, straighten through both legs, keeping the hips up. Bending the knees back down. Slide the torso forward, coming to a little cobra. Lower ribs just hovering off the floor. Feet long, knees pointing down. From there, curling yourself back down. Tuck your toes under. You can keep the knees on the floor here. Press yourself up. Back into plank, then push yourself into downward dog. And from here, shifting the weight into the left foot. Start lifting the right foot up behind you. First parallel. Then point through the foot, start to open the hip. Only the right hip opens and the leg moves higher. The rest of the body stays the same. Left knee doesn't roll in. The right armpit keeps pointing down. Bend the knee, drop the foot. Lift the knee up a little bit higher. From there, roll the weight forward, step the foot between the hands. Come into your warrior one, float your arms up. Breathing out, sinking your hips down lower. From here, opening up into warrior two. Now binding or wrapping your left arm around your back. Grabbing top of the right thigh, flip your right palm up, bring it up into a little reverse warrior, very gentle here. From here, straight away we're going to see if we can bind here, since this is pretzel it up time. So folding the right arm behind the right leg, releasing the left hand from the hip, grabbing both your hands behind your back, pull your belly button in, sink your hips down lower, look up at the ceiling, twist yourself open. From here, straightening through the front knee as much as you can. So we're keeping the bind. Coming into a bound triangle pose right away. And if it's too much, unbind and lean the weight on your right ankle. And lift your left hand up. From here, bending the right knee down again. Release the grip. Place the right hand inside the right foot. Reach the left arm up and over. And then rolling the weight down. Lift the left heel. Walk the right foot towards the outside of the mat. So you're in a bit of a wider position here. Shifting the weight forward and back, forward and back. Preparation for our lizard pose. See if you can keep sinking the hips down lower and lower. And dropping the left knee down. Uncurl the toes. And you can stay here. Maybe it's enough here in the beginning of the class to just stay here, softening the hips. If you'd like, you can come a little bit more down onto the elbows, maybe placing your head or elbows on the block. It's quite nice here, placing the forehead on the block. Opening up deeply into the hips. From here, gently coming out of this. cue ball your foot back in. Make sure your knee is directly above your ankle. Now we'll try another little pretzel type thing. Bring your hands on top of your knees. Use the hands to twist yourself over to the right side. So you're twisting into your bent front leg. Then draping your torso down over the top of your right knee, twisting. Seeing if you can bring your left leg your left arm behind and around that leg. Your right arm comes behind your back. Seeing if you can bind here. Sinking your hips down lower. Releasing into the right hip joint. Twisting yourself up and back. Very gently releasing. Tuck your toes. Come onto your fingertips. Straighten your back knee one more time. Shifting the weight forward and back. And from there, stepping your right foot into plank. Now you can keep your knees long if you'd like, or bring them to the floor. Chaturanga down. Upward facing dog. If you're ready, you can also still just go over here. Into downward facing dog. Neutralizing the hips. Sticking your sit bones up at the ceiling. Drop your head. Soften your jaw, soften your neck. Then shift the weight into the right foot. Start lifting the left leg up and away from you, first with a parallel leg, flexed foot. And now once you point the left foot, start to open the hip and lift the leg up higher, but keep everything else the same. Reaching down through the left armpit. Keeping the right leg exactly the same, don't roll it in. Bend the knee, lift the knee up a little bit higher. From there, rolling the weight forward, bring the knee to the chest. To step the foot between the hands. Coming up, warrior one. As you breathe out, sinking your hips a little bit lower. And then opening into your warrior two. Sinking your hips a little lower. Now slide the right hand behind your back and grab the top of your left thigh. From here, flip the left palm up. Little small back bend. Keeping the left knee bent. Sinking your hips down. Drop your head back if it feels alright for your neck. From here, let's go into the bind if you can. So reaching forward, slide the right hand off the hip. Reach the left arm behind the right leg. Clasp your both hands behind your left hip. Then twisting your torso open. Reaching the right shoulder up to the ceiling. Sink your hips down lower. From here, straighten the front knee if you can. Maybe it doesn't straighten all the way, that's okay. Keep looking up, twisting your torso. Stepping the weight down into the big left toe. And from there, bending the knee. Again, release the grip. Place the left hand on the inside of the left foot. Reach your right arm up and overhead. And then roll the weight forward, lift the right heel. Walk the left foot a little bit out, heel balling to the outside edge of the mat, shifting the weight forward and back, forward and back. Preparation for lizard. Working deeply into the hips today, dropping the right knee. Now you can use a block here in whatever way that suits you best. For me, I really like to put my forehead on top of it. Make sure your left sole of the foot stays all connected to the floor. Breathing deeply. And then gently coming out of this, walk your left foot back to the center. Bring your hands to the top of your knee. Sink your hips down lower. Now use your hands for the leverage to twist your torso over to the left and drape your torso over the leg, sliding the right arm to the outside of the left knee. From there, bending that arm. Maybe it can, for me, it helps to use the left hand here to help guide the right arm underneath the leg. And then bring the left arm behind the back, clasping the hands. Start opening the torso, twisting. Sink down into your left hip, releasing the muscles of the left upper thigh. Then gently release the grip. Walk your hands back down. Straighten through the right knee, and one more time. Shift the weight forward and back, forward and back. And then step the left foot into plank. Chaturanga down. Upward facing dog. Into downward facing dog. Reaching your sit bones up and away from the heels. And then look up at your hands. Walk your feet forward to the front of your mat. Come halfway up. Round back down. Bend your knees a little bit. Slide your hands behind your back. Clasp your fingers. See if you can have the other thumb on top. So the thumb that feels unusual, put that one on top. Then drop the hands behind your head. Deep breathing. And again, if it feels nice to you, you can shift your hips a bit side to side. Let your torso and your arms sway side to side. And from there, gently releasing the hands back down to the floor. Bend your knees, rolling up. Standing tall in your mountain pose. Shift weight into the left foot. Bring the right foot in front of the hip. Drop the knee. Same tree as before, but this time we're going to slide the right hand behind the back and see if you can grab hold of the top of the left foot. So you're grabbing hold over the ball of the foot and then bringing the left arm to prayer, seeing if you can square up your shoulders. So the tendency is to let the right shoulder twist back bring the right shoulder back to the front and see if you can lengthen your lower back, tucking the pelvis a little bit. From here, only if you feel comfortable and stable, start to bend forward with a long straight spine, slowly with control coming all the way down. Bring your left hand to the floor, drop your head. And from there, coming back the same way you went down, so start by lengthening the head forward. Make sure you have a strong, straight left knee coming all the way back to standing. Keep the grip if you can. And then releasing the foot. Bring the right hand to prayer. Flexing the right foot, let it slide down the leg a little bit. Bring the knee forward, stepping the right foot on top of the left thigh. Now again, bring your back long forward, sliding your hands down. Now wrap the right arm around the right leg and clasp your hands behind your back. Your left arm is reaching behind your back. Then start to stand up, lifting the leg up with you. And from here, gently putting the foot back on top of the thigh, release, clasp, bring your hands back to prayer. Step the right foot down with control. Standing tall in your Tadasana. Take a deep breath. Now change sides. Shift the weight into the right foot. Left ankle in front of right hip. Really taking the time here to find the right position. And it's super gentle and sliding the left hand behind your back. See if you can grab the top of the left foot with the left hand. Right hand comes to prayer. Twisting your shoulders back into alignment. So left shoulder as much as possible forward, the right shoulder a little bit back. Tucking your pelvis ever so slightly, long lower back. And if you're comfortable here, start to bend forward. With a long, straight spine, reaching down with the right hand. And then curling down, dropping your head. Keep holding on to the big left toe. Sinking down to your hips, and then releasing your hips up at the ceiling. From here, coming back the same way you came in. Strong right standing knee. Long back all the way up to standing. And from there, releasing the left foot, bring both your hands to prayer. For a moment, standing in simple tree, and start to slide the left foot down the right leg, stepping it just above the right knee, the left knee pointing forward. Now lift your torso up to start coming down again with a straight spine. Then slip your left arm around the left leg. Slide your right arm behind your back, clasp the hands, start to stand up. Strong, strong standing leg here. Wow, feel the burn. And then gently stepping the foot back on top of the thigh. Bring your hands back to prayer. With control, stepping the left foot down. Bring the hands down, palms forward, chest up. Reach your arms up overhead. Lifting up, looking up at your hands, then swan diving down. Come halfway up. Now you can step or jump back into plank. Right away, chaturanga down. Upward facing dog. Into downward facing dog. Right foot lifts up, hip opens. We're going to come all the way to wild thing, so dropping the foot down, start to reach it down behind you. Lifting the right hand, circling it up, up, up. Opening the chest. Gently coming back into your down dog split. From there, red knee to the chest, roll weight forward. Stepping into warrior one. Twisting open to the right, so left arm forward, right arm back. See if we can come into that same quite awkward bind, but this time with the knee off the floor. So the left arm wraps around the outside of the left thigh, of the right thigh, sorry. Sink your hips down lower, twist your torso up. And then gently releasing, come back to standing in your warrior one. As you breathe out, sink your hips down lower. And the next out breath, twist open to warrior two. Let's repeat that little wrap of the left arm. Right arm, palm flips up. Reach that right arm up to come back. Gently coming out of that, releasing the left hand. Arms are to the side now. Wrapping both arms. This time right arm on the inside of the right leg. Twisting the torso up. Straightening the knee. Bound triangle pose. Again, twisting the torso up. Bend the knee back down. Untwist both hands inside right foot. Lifting the left heel up. Toe balling the right foot again to the outside of the mat. Bring the left knee down. Coming to your elbows. Maybe you can go a little bit deeper now. From here, bring the hands back up. Bring your right leg into a child's pose. And take 10 breaths here. I'll be right back. And from your child's pose, gently bring yourself back into down dog. This time lifting the left foot up, opening the hip, bend the knee, start reaching the foot back behind you, coming into wild thing, lifting your left arm up, opening the chest, reversing, coming back into your down dog, splits with the left foot pointing up, bend the knee, bring it into your chest, roll the weight forward, come right up into your warrior one, then twisting your back over the front leg, so right arm comes forward, left arm comes back, then folding down and binding the right arm over the outside of the left knee, left arm comes behind your back, clasping your hands, twisting your torso up at the ceiling. From here, gently untwisting, come all the way back into your warrior one. As you breathe out, sink down a little bit lower. And the next out breath, open up into warrior two. Slide the right hand behind your back. Grab the top of the left thigh, flip the left palm up. Breathe in, lift your sternum up to bend back. Gently coming back up. Slide your right arm back out. Now reaching left arm inside, left leg binding behind your left hip. Once you have the bind, lift your torso up and sink your hips down, twisting your face up to the ceiling. From here, straightening the left knee, bound triangle pose. And bend the left knee back down. Unclasp the hands, place them inside your left foot. Lift the right heel, toe ball the left foot out towards the outside of your mat. Sink your right heel down. Bring your elbows down. Maybe place your head on top of a block or your elbows on top of a block. And from here, pushing the weight back up. Gently take the left foot back, place it into child's pose. This time open your knees wide. Take an easy child's pose. Let the hips even out. Breathing into lower belly. Let the pelvis be heavy. Here, gently walk your hands towards your knees. And come to sitting with the right knee pointing forward. The right foot next to the left hip, and the left foot steps on the outside of the right knee. Bring your left forearm against the left shin bone. Bring your right hand behind your sacrum. Twist yourself open to the right. It's very simple here. Make sure both your sit bones are down into the floor. Your lower back is long. One more deep in breath to lengthen the spine, out breath to twist, twist, twist. From here, reversing directions, placing the right elbow against the outside of the left knee. Left hand comes to your lower back on the floor. Breathing in, lifting up, breathing out, twisting, 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 looking over your left shoulder. And one more time, as you breathe in, lengthen your spine. And as you breathe out, twist a little bit more. From here, coming halfway out of this now, bring your right hand through the hole underneath your left knee. See if you combine like this. Sliding the left hand behind the back, clasping your both hands. Really using the upper right arm to press into the outside of the left knee. Breathing in, lift your spine. Breathing out, twist, twist, twist. Gently releasing. Going back to the center from here. Grab your left foot, slide it down next to the right hip. Maybe shift the weight a little bit forward so you can get the knees really on top of each other. From there, sitting your hips back down. Take a moment here with your hands, palms on the soles of your feet. Exchanging the energy between the limbs. Close your eyes. Really releasing into your hips, softening your hips. And from here, bring your right arm behind your right shoulder, left arm up behind your back, binding your both hands together if you can. If you're not there yet, you can hold on to your shirt or top, or you can use a strap or a belt. And if you are there, try to walk your fingertips closer together so the tips of your fingers are really in touch with the base of the other hand's fingers, so you can use the pull on the fingers to get your hands closer together. From here, bring your chin to your chest, start to round down. Maybe placing your forehead on your knee. See if you can soften your hips even more. Gently rolling back up. Releasing the clasp of the hands. Now take your hands a little bit forward on the diagonal. This time with a long lower back coming down. So make sure that your tailbone, your sit bones stay grounded. And you're coming forward with a long lower back, feeling the stretch on the outside of your hips. And at the end, rounding your upper back down so your lower back stays straight. Upper back rounds down, your chin hooking over your knee. And you can let the weight of the elbows help you sink lower down towards the floor. And you're gently pushing yourself back up. Start walking your right foot forward so your shin comes parallel to the edge of the mat. Your left ankle, place it on top of the right knee. As much as possible, both your shins parallel to the edge of the mat. You can use your hands here to move your sitting flesh a little bit out of the way so you can feel the connection of the sitting bones with the floor. Maybe your left knee is a little bit up. It's okay. If this is really too intense, you can slide your knees a little bit further out and your feet closer together, like this, to make it a little bit easier. But the aim is to have the shins parallel to the edge of the mat and the feet on top, the ankles on top of the knees. Fire locks. From here, with your fingertips next to your hips, lengthen your spine. So really pressing down into your fingertips to lengthen your lower spine, lengthening your rib cage up and away from your hips. From there, start walking very gently forward. And only come forward as far as you can while keeping your lower back straight. So maybe you're just on a slight diagonal. That's completely okay. Taking your time. It's a very intense stretch for the hips this one. Only if you're comfortable, walk your hands further forward. Use the hands to take some of the weight of the torso. Gently start to drape your torso down. Long lower back and the upper back can round over now. Stay here 5 breaths. Releasing your shoulders, softening the back of the neck, gently rounding yourself back up. Take your knees, bring them together with your hands. Wrap your arms around your legs, give yourself a hug. Maybe drop it forward to your knees, make your back super round. From here, take your left foot to the outside of the right hip. Left knee is pointing forward. And step the right foot over the outside of the left knee. Bring your right sitting bone down to the floor. Now start by placing your right lower arm against the right lower arm against the inside of the right lower leg, twisting yourself open to the left. Very gentle, very simple as you breathe in, lifting it up, lengthening the spine as you breathe out. Twist, twist, twist. Gently coming back to the center, changing sides, bringing now the left elbow to the outside of the right knee, right hand on the floor behind your lower back. As you breathe in, lengthen your spine. As you breathe out, twist, using the leverage against the right knee with the left hand, elbow. One more time, breathing in deeply to lengthen the spine. And then breathe out to twist, twist, and twist. And coming halfway back, reach, flip the left arm all the way around to reach it down below the right knee. And then reach the right hand behind your back to clasp both hands, binding. From here, pressing with the upper left arm into the outer right knee. Breathing in, lifting up your spine. Breathing out, twist, twist, and twist. Gently releasing that. Coming to facing forward. Bring the right foot closer in towards the left hip. Slide your both knees on top of each other. So maybe slide the weight a little bit forward so you can really get these knees close together. Walking the left foot a little bit more out so both sit bones can come to the floor. Place your hand palms on top of the soles of your feet. Close your eyes for a moment, sending signals to your hips to release. And from here, we're going to bind behind the back with the left arm on top, right arm below. And if it's hard for you to reach the fingers, you can use your left hand to gently wiggle your right hand a little bit more up the back. So using the left hand to help the right arm coming a bit further up between your shoulder blades, then slide the left arm up and behind the shoulder, clasping your fingertips if you can. Grabbing them as close together as possible. Releasing into the top right shoulder. From here, chin to chest, rounding down. Softening the hips, bringing the forehead to the knee. And then gently rounding back up. Releasing the clasp of the hands. Placing your hands now a little bit forward on the diagonal. Lengthening your lower back. Making a connection between your belly and your upper right thigh. From there, rounding down. Keeping the lower back long. Hooking your chin over your knee this time. Make sure your both sit bones stay reaching down to the floor. Gently coming back up. Now for fire locks. Bring the left foot a little bit more forward so that the shin becomes parallel to the edge of the mat. And place the right ankle on top of the left knee. You need to shake your legs out for a moment before going into this. Do it. I definitely need to do that. It's quite intense, all this hip stuff. So the left foot is below, the right foot comes on top. Is this true? Yeah. Shins parallel to the edge of the mat. Bring your fingertips next to your hips. Pressing yourself up and away so your rib cage is reaching up and away from your hips. And then gently start to walk yourself forward. Take it super easy here. If you have to stay on a diagonal with your back, that's fine. If it's okay for you, round yourself down. And once you're in your deep, deep stretch, take 5 breaths here. Softening your shoulders, softening your jaw. And I think I said it wrong. Actually, I think that the left leg is supposed to be on top of the right. Yeah. Sorry if you did it wrong because I said it wrong. Just gently come out of it and change sides. Right leg is below, left leg is on top. One more last deep breath here. And then gently move yourself out. Bring your knees together, hug yourself. Take the unusual arm on top. Rock your forehead to your knees, round your back. Now come to all fours. Lengthen your legs one by one. Let's take a nice simple pigeon. So you put your right knee on the outside of your right wrist, walk the left foot back and away from you, then lengthen your left toes. Press down into your fingertips, lengthening your spine up. A lot of space between the ribs and the hips here. And if you'd like, actually, you can support yourself here with a pillow. So we'll stay a bit longer in the pigeon. You can put the pillow either underneath your belly or underneath your right hip. So you can experiment here a little bit and find out what feels nice to you. Maybe turning your head to one side if you're lying on a pillow with your torso, or with your forehead on the floor, whatever feels best for you. We're going to stay here a little while. Releasing into the right hip. And if you're using pillows, wherever you've chosen to place the support, really let them support you. Allow your full weight to sink down into the floor, into the pillows. Opening up your inner right thigh. Breathing deeply into the lower belly. Noticing how your pelvis is constantly in motion just by breathing. Release the back of your neck. Soften your jaw. From here, gently start to walk your hands closer to you. Lift up your torso. Place the right hand inside on the inside of the right knee. And bend the left knee behind you. Grab the inside of your left ankle with your left hand. Or you can flip your elbow up and press the top of the foot down towards the floor. Keep shifting your shoulders back into alignment so your left shoulder comes forward, your right shoulder comes a bit back. Sinking your hips down lower. Keep breathing deeply with every out breath. Release a little bit more. And gently let go of the foot. Walk the left foot a little bit closer in. And put weight on your hands. Now step the right foot back into the lizard pose. From here, bring your elbows to the floor, and this time we're gonna point the right toes a little bit to the side, opening up the right knee to the side wall. Subtle difference of the stretch here. Now to bring the weight back into the hands. Start to walk the right foot to the center. Keep dropping the right knee down. So now you're sliding the right foot. You can slide a little bit more forward. Dropping the right knee down towards the floor. And here you can use a block underneath the right hip on whatever level works for you. So we're really dropping the right knee down and out, kind of like a very, very extended pigeon. So instead of the right heel being close to the left hip, you're pulling the heel all the way forward. Maybe even coming down to your elbows, reaching your head towards the foot. And then gently, gently bring your knee back up. Let's come into a little forward stretch here. Take the block with you. Keep the right knee straight. Come to sitting on top of your block with the right sit bone. You can really sit on the edge of the block. The left heel comes just outside the left hip from here. Again, bringing your fingertips to the floor, lengthening your whole spine. Strongly flexing the right foot, start walking the weight forward. Seeing if you can connect your belly with your upper thigh. If you cannot keep your lower spine long, you can bend the right knee a little bit to really lengthen in the lower spine. And from here, if it's very easy for you to grab the ball of the foot, go for it. Grab the ball of the right foot with the left hand, straighten through the knee if you can. Keep the lower back straight and then round the upper back down. Trying to reach your face lower and lower down the right shin. Keep lengthening the lower back. And from here, gently round yourself back up. We're going to change sides. Coming into your all fours, bring your left knee to the outside of the left wrist. And slide the right foot back. You can take 1 or 2 or 5 pillows, whatever feels nice to you here. Either underneath your torso or underneath your left hip. Drape yourself down. Find a position where you can stay for a while. Maybe turn your face to one side. Sometimes the nose can get a bit crushed here. Especially if we stay a longer time, we like to turn our face. Turn it the other way that you had it before. And then just focus on the breath. Sink your hips down low. Releasing deep into the left hip socket. Softening the knee, softening the back of your neck and the jaw. Breathing deeply into your lower belly. Feeling the whole pelvis expanding as you breathe in, retracting as you breathe out. And then gently coming back, pushing down into your hands to reach your torso up. Place the left hand inside the left knee. Bending the right knee up. Grab the inside of the right ankle with the right hand. Turn the left shoulder a bit back and the right shoulder forward. Maybe flipping your elbow up, grabbing the top of the right foot. Take it super easy and slowly here. Every out breath, release a little bit more. Softening the front of the right thigh. Gently releasing the foot. Walk the right foot a little bit closer in. And step the left foot to the outside of the left wrist. Coming back into your lizard, this time opening the left toes towards the left wall so the knee can fall open. Come to your elbows. Or place your elbows on the block. Drop your head, keep your belly soft. From here, bring the weight back into your hands. Now, start heel balling your foot towards the center line. You can keep a block ready nearby if you used it on the first side. And if it's uncomfortable for your right knee, you can also place a pillow underneath your right knee here. So walking your foot all the way into the center line, sliding it a little bit forward, maybe placing your hip on top of a block, letting the knee fall out to the side. You can walk your hands forward and drop your torso down. And then super gently push yourself back out of this. Keep the left leg long in front of you. Take the block with you. Shift the weight all the way back until you're sitting on your right heel. Place the block just below the left sit bone. Slide the right heel next to the right hip so your hips are even, facing forward. Strong flex in the left foot. With your fingertips on the floor, lift your torso, your whole spine upright. And start to walk forwards, keeping your lower back long. And maybe it means you only come to a slight diagonal. And that's fine. You can bend your left knee a little bit up to help you stick your sit bones far away from you, like you're arching your lower back. From here, if it's within easy reach, grab the ball of your left foot with the right hand. Maybe straightening the leg fully, lengthening the lower back to round down the upper back. Aiming to slide the face down the left shin until one day the top of the head touches the top of the left foot. Gently, gently come out. Remove your block. Now for the final pose of the day. We prepared the hips in every single imaginable way. Come to lying on your back. Bring your right knee close to your chest and step your left foot onto the floor. Start pulling your knee more in the direction of the right armpit, so sliding the knee a little bit out around the hips. From here, flexing the right foot. Grab hold of that foot with both your hands. Now reach your head up and start to try and shimmy the right knee on the outside of the right shoulder. From there you can interlace your fingers around the outside of the right ankle and start to push your ankle behind your head or towards being behind your head. Take your time, take it easy. Maybe sliding the right arm, slipping it behind your back, and then you can lengthen your left knee to increase the stretch here. Gently coming out of it. One more time, pulling your knee closer to your chest, the right knee, then lengthening both legs just for a moment. Allowing the blood, fresh blood to rush into your right leg after that big constriction of the hip. And then we'll change sides. Step your right foot onto the floor, knees bent, left knee coming towards your chest to begin with. Very basic. Releasing deeply in the hip joint, and slide your left knee a little bit more to the outside, so towards the left armpit. And we're grabbing the left foot with the right hand. Reach your torso up and start to shimmy the knee behind. The left knee behind the left shoulder as much as you can. And you can interlace both your fingers over the top of your outside of your left ankle. And just breathe, gently sliding your head more forward, your foot more back. And you can either stay here or you can start to wrap your left arm around your back. Maybe straightening the right leg. Gently coming out of this. Bring both your knees to your chest. Lengthen both your legs down. Now let's try something. Let's bring both knees to the chest. And then grabbing behind the knees, rolling the weight back. Bringing your feet behind your head. Plow pose. Just stretching the back of the neck, the top of the spine. From here, bend your knees right next to your ears. Your toes are tucked. You can bring your hands to the backs of your ankles, helping your knees come down more. Now from here, sliding your arms to the insides of your legs. And then see if you can bring now I can't do this yet, but maybe you can fold your arms around your back. That helps to open the knees a bit more. From here, take the outsides of your feet, gently roll your spine back down, bending your knees into a short happy baby. Happy baby, holding onto the outsides of your feet, rolling your pelvis all the way down to the floor. And from here, maybe for some of you it's possible to get both of your feet behind your head. So trying to shimmy both of your knees behind your shoulders. I've never tried this before, so I don't think it works for me, but I'm going to try bringing the soles of the feet together and lifting the torso. Okay, well, something. And if it's too much, let's one more time try it one by one. So stepping your left foot down onto the floor, bringing your right knee behind the right shoulder, bring your torso up and see if you can slip the foot behind the hip. Maybe wrapping the right arm around the back, maybe lengthening the left leg. Maybe falling and rolling over. Gently releasing, changing sides. Lengthen the right leg for a moment to shake it out. And then bringing the right foot to standing, left knee starts to shimmy behind the left shoulder. And you can grab both your hands behind your ankle to slip the foot behind the head, or you can hold on with the right hand and slip the left arm behind your back for a bit of extra pull and lengthening your right leg. Yeah, and I did the same thing on the side that I fell over, so I rolled onto the left knee now, and from there I cannot come back. Maybe I can. Oh yeah, I can. Let's gently release. Coming to lying on your back. Let's finish with a supported Shavasana here. So roll yourself to one side to grab your blocks and your pillows. Placing one block at the middle height, one block at the lowest height. Putting especially the block that's going to go underneath your back, put a pillow on it. And then sliding the edge of the block underneath the base of your rib cage. And the other lower block comes under your head. If it's comfortable, you can also put a pillow on top of that. From there, bring your feet close to your pelvis. Get the soles of the feet together and drop your knees down. Opening your hips. You can let your arms open to the sides. Close your eyes. Very passively stretching here, letting gravity sink you down. Softening the hips, softening your inner thighs, your lower belly and your lower back. Between your eyebrows, softening the jaw. And if at any point it gets a bit much, this butterfly pose, you can just lift your knees up and slide your legs along. Same thing with the blocks. If it gets a bit much, just gently remove them. Finding a pose that's comfortable for you. Allowing the heart to fall open, the chest to fall open. And then very intuitively scan your body from top to bottom. Just putting attention and awareness on each body part without searching for anything, without any wishes or needs, just simply noticing, starting at the top of the skull, the whole scalp, forehead, the temples and the eyebrows, the eyeballs, the nose, the cheeks, the jaw, the lips and the tongue, the chin and the whole jawline. Front of the throat, sides of the neck and the back of the neck. The trapezius muscles on both sides and the collarbones. The top ridge of your shoulder blades. Your armpit. And both of your upper arms. And your elbows, your lower arms. Wrists. The backs of your hands and your hand palms and all of your 10 fingers. Collarbones into the sternum, the whole front of the chest, sides of the chest and the back of the chest, shoulder blades, upper spine, the middle spine that connects the rib cage and the hips. belly and all the organs, the lower belly, hip bones, pubic bone, the sides of the hips, sides of the belly, the lower back, tailbone, buttock muscles, tops of the hips and the inner thighs, the outsides of the thighs and the hamstrings and the back, all the way down to the knees, the thighs into the knees, soft knees, inside of the knees and the backs and the outsides of the knees, and the shin bones and the calf muscles, and the inner ankles and the outer ankles and the heel bones, the whole soles of the feet, tops of the feet, and all your 10 toes. And whenever you're ready, you can gently slide your block out from underneath you. Take another few moments lying on your back. Feeling the whole weight of the body sinking down to the floor. And you can stay there as long as you like, resting in Shavasana. I want to thank you very, very much for joining me today. And the lesson that is very strong for me today, as it always is that it's always better to do something for my body than not to. So thank you for being there with me. I will post my schedule for next week, probably tomorrow, on my page, Yoga with Manou. If you'd like to support, all the information is in the description of this video. Make sure you drink a lot of water, especially when it's so hot. Rehydrate your joints. And I hope you had some fun today, pretzeling. Maybe you got your foot behind your head. Hope so. So have a beautiful day and hopefully see you very soon. Bye.